Hey everyone, and a massive welcome to the channel. To every single person tuning in from wherever you are in the world, I'm truly glad you're here. Before we dive into today's truly fascinating topic, I want to take a moment to send my very best wishes your way. In a world that can sometimes feel a little hectic, our health is our greatest treasure. So, from the bottom of my heart, I genuinely hope you and your loved ones are feeling strong, are in great spirits, and are blessed with wonderful health today and always. Now, let's explore a cultural practice that, to many outside observers, seems almost unbelievable, but in one of the world's most prosperous and happy nations, it's just a normal part of daily life. In Norway, and indeed across much of Scandinavia, it is a completely normal and everyday sight to see a baby or a toddler left sleeping peacefully in a pram or a buggy outside a cafe, a shop, or even a home. For a visitor, especially someone from a country where children are kept within arm's reach at all times, this can be a shocking experience. Your first instinct might be one of panic. You might look around for a parent, your heart might start to race, and you might think, how could anyone leave a baby alone like that? But then you notice something else. You see that the Norwegians walking by don't even give it a second glance. The cafe owner isn't concerned. The other parents sitting nearby with their own outdoor napping babies are calmly sipping their coffee. This is not a case of neglect. It is a deeply embedded cultural practice rooted in a specific set of beliefs about nature, health, and community trust. To understand it, we have to step outside of our own cultural frameworks and look at the world through a Norwegian lens, a perspective shaped by their environment, their history, and their societal values. The practice itself is wonderfully straightforward. A parent will bundle up their baby in appropriate weather gear, place them in a well-insulated pram, and leave them to nap in the fresh outdoor air, even in the middle of a city. They might pop into a grocery store, enjoy a meal inside a restaurant, or simply let the child sleep on the balcony of their apartment. The parent is usually nearby, checking in periodically, but the child is out of immediate sight and sound. This isn't a new trend or a social media fad. It's a tradition that goes back generations. It's so normalized that daycares and preschools across the country will regularly schedule outdoor nap time for all the children in their care, with rows of prams lined up in the yard, each containing a sleeping child, all year round. They have a famous saying, "There's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing," and this ethos is applied to their youngest citizens from the very beginning of their lives. The belief is that fresh air, even cold fresh air, is fundamentally good for a child's health and well-being. So why is this such a prevalent belief? A lot of it stems from historical and practical reasons. Norway is a country with a vast, sprawling, and often breathtakingly beautiful natural landscape, but it can also be a harsh one, with long, dark, and very cold winters. Historically, homes were often small, crowded, and poorly ventilated. Tuberculosis and other respiratory illnesses were a significant threat. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, doctors began advocating for fresh air as a crucial part of a treatment plan for sickly children. The thinking was that stale, indoor air was full of impurities and germs, while outdoor air was clean, crisp, and revitalizing. This medical advice trickled down into general parenting advice, promoting the idea that all children, not just sick ones, would benefit from spending as much time as possible outdoors. It was seen as a way to build robust immune systems, strengthen lungs, and ensure children grew up to be hardy and resilient, traits necessary for life in a demanding climate. The practice of outdoor napping became a practical way to incorporate this health advice into the busy rhythm of a parent's day. The next critical piece of this puzzle is the incredible level of trust that exists within Norwegian society. Norway consistently ranks as one of the safest countries in the entire world. Its crime rates, particularly for violent crime and abduction, are extremely low. This creates a social environment where the perceived risk of leaving a child unattended is calculated very differently than it might be elsewhere. For a Norwegian parent, the overwhelming statistical reality is that their child is safe. The idea of a stranger interfering with or taking a baby is so remote and unlikely that it doesn't factor into their decision-making in a meaningful way. This high level of trust isn't just abstract, it's built into the fabric of their community. People generally trust their neighbors, they trust their institutions, and they trust the strangers walking down the street. This is a society that functions on a presumption of safety and goodwill, which allows for a freedom that can seem alien in more risk-averse cultures. It's important to understand that Norwegian parents are not being careless. They are operating within a context where the actual, real-world danger is minimal. They are making a rational choice based on their environment. Furthermore, this practice is heavily supported by a robust social welfare system that provides a tremendous safety net for all families. Parental leave in Norway is among the most generous on the planet, with mothers and fathers given ample paid time off to bond with their new child. This means parents are generally less stressed, more supported, and have more time to attune to their child's needs. The state provides high-quality healthcare and education, reducing the ambient anxiety that can plague parents in other nations. This culture of support extends to parenting styles as well. Norwegian parenting philosophy often emphasizes independence, self-reliance, and a connection to nature from a very young age. Leaving a child to nap outside is seen as fostering that independence. It teaches the child to self-soothe, to sleep in different environments, and to be comfortable with the natural world. The parent is not abandoning the child. They are giving them the gift of quiet, fresh air, and the space to learn how to sleep on their own. It's a practice born of confidence, not fear. Of course, a major question on everyone's mind is about the cold. How do Norwegian parents ensure their babies don't freeze? The answer lies in a mastery of the art of dressing for the weather. Norwegian children are experts in layering long before they can walk. Parents use high-quality, weather-appropriate baby gear, thick, insulated sleeping bags specifically designed for prams, woolen base layers that wick moisture and retain heat even when wet, and protective rain and wind covers that create a cozy microclimate within the pram. They are meticulously careful about temperature regulation. It is a common sight to see a parent gently feeling the back of their baby's neck to check if they are at a comfortable temperature, not too hot and not too cold. The belief is that a baby sleeping in the crisp, cold air is less likely to overheat and will often sleep more deeply and for longer stretches than a baby in a warm, stuffy room. They avoid any moisture buildup inside the pram and ensure the child is dry and snug. This isn't about enduring the cold, it's about being perfectly prepared for it. From a health perspective, many Norwegian parents and childcare professionals swear by the benefits. They anecdotally report that children who nap outdoors get sick less often, have fewer problems with coughs and colds, and develop stronger respiratory systems. While comprehensive scientific studies specifically on this practice are limited, the general health benefits of fresh air are well documented. Exposure to natural environments can improve mood, reduce stress levels, and enhance sleep quality. The cold air can help clear nasal passages and may contribute to a deeper, more restorative sleep cycle. The constant circulation of fresh air, as opposed to the recirculated air often found indoors, can also reduce the concentration of airborne pathogens, potentially lowering the risk of passing illnesses between children in group settings like nurseries. It's a holistic approach to health that prioritizes prevention and building long-term resilience through interaction with the natural environment. The practice is also deeply normalized and supported at an institutional level. As mentioned, daycare centers all over Norway have dedicated outdoor sleeping areas. The staff are trained in how to safely manage this. They monitor the children closely, they have strict protocols for weather conditions, and they are in constant communication with parents. This institutional endorsement makes the practice feel not just acceptable, but recommended. It's not a fringe activity, it's a standard part of early childhood education and care. This creates a powerful community reinforcement. When everyone is doing it, it becomes the unquestioned norm. New parents learn it from their own parents, from their friends, and from the healthcare system itself. It's a passed-down tradition that is continually validated by the structures of society. It's fascinating to contrast this with the parenting norms found in many other Western cultures, particularly in the United States, where the idea of leaving a child unattended in a public place could potentially lead to a visit from Child Protective Services and even criminal charges. This difference highlights how cultural context is everything. In a culture with a higher perceived and actual risk of crime, and with a more litigious environment, parenting becomes inherently more risk-averse. The helicopter parent, or constant supervision, model is a rational response to that environment. In Norway, the environment permits and even encourages a different model, one that might be described as more free-range. Neither approach is inherently right or wrong. They are both logical adaptations to different social and physical landscapes. It's a powerful reminder that our parenting choices are rarely made in a vacuum. They are profoundly shaped by the society we live in. For a visitor to Norway, the sight of a line of prams outside a cafe on a snowy day, each with a tiny occupant dreaming away, is a beautiful and poignant symbol of the society itself. It represents a profound trust in one's community, a deep-seated belief in the healing power of nature, and a parenting philosophy that values resilience and independence. It speaks to a society that has chosen to structure itself in a way that supports families and minimizes risks, allowing for these small, everyday freedoms. It's a practice that requires a specific confluence of factors: a safe society, a cultural comfort with the outdoors, and a shared understanding that this is what is best for children. While it may not be a practice that can or should be directly transplanted to other countries with different contexts, it offers a wonderful opportunity for reflection. It asks us to consider our own relationship with risk, with community, and with the natural world. It reminds us that there are many different ways to raise happy, healthy children, and that sometimes the simplest solutions, a bit of fresh air and a good nap, are the most timeless ones of all.